Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we reached the final part of my top 10 best and worst anime characters with my top 10 best male anime characters. Now, like I mentioned in my past videos, there might be a few characters that you feel like I left out on this list, but remember, this is just in my opinion which are the best male anime characters. You might have a few differing opinions, you might not feel like some of them should belong on this list, but just remember, this is just my opinions, and you can let me know your opinions in the comments below. And like my other videos, I also have an honorable mention for this video as well, and that would be America from Italia. This character is so damn funny and so damn relatable, and you could say, you know, because I'm American, of course I relate to him in some way, shape, or form, but I just really relate to his character, and he's pretty much the backbone of Italia. All the best jokes come from America, and not only that, I feel like he's like the only character in the entire series who actually goes through a development. Like, he actually had a serious story where he was growing up with Britain and, you know, dealing with the American Revolution, where he wanted to become independent. And I really thought that the character had depth, and he had the best development out of all the characters, and that's why he gets an honorable mention. And now let's kick off the list with number 10, Kemono from the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Now, Kemono provides a great counterbalance to the over-eccentric and out-of-control nature that is Haruhi Suzumiya. He is the one that keeps her in check, and because of that, Haruhi is very attracted to him, and not only that, he's also the most relatable character in the series that we kind of latch on to. But not only that, but he's a really caring individual. He really cares about others, and he really cares about Haruhi, even though Haruhi gets on his nerves all the time. But you really relate to this character, you really like him. I enjoyed him a lot. He had some of the most funny and witty dialogue in the entire anime, and that's why I really liked him. Number 9 is Lad Russo and Claire Stanfield, otherwise known as the Rail Tracer in Bakino. Now, I have a very superficial reason for putting them on this list, and the only reason I really put them on this list is because these guys are just badass and they're so fun to watch. Yes, I know that's not a really deep reason to like a character, but I can't help it. I just really enjoyed them. They made Bakino 10 times better than it was without them. I mean, even without them, it's still a great anime, but they just amplified it to a whole new level, and I thought they deserved some recognition for that, and I really enjoyed their characters. They were fun. And now we got number 8, the man of the hour, Goku from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. We see so much of this character as he grows from a little child to a full-grown adult, and he is a badass, but with a childlike nature to him. I mean, he's so kind and he's so naive. It's so funny to see him how he reacts to certain situations. And I would go as far to say that he's the genesis of the goofy yet strong shonen character. He kind of paved the way for all these other shonen characters like Luffy, Naruto, Natsu, all of them. He's just so goofy, silly, and fun, yet he can be serious and he can have a forgiving heart. In fact, he's the one character in the entire series who believes in redemption. He gave Vegeta a chance to redeem himself. He gave Frieza a chance to redeem himself. He even gave Boo a chance to redeem himself. He really believes in the fact that not everybody is bad, and there is some good qualities in people, and in that, Goku, I salute you. Number 7 might shock a lot of people because of how I describe this character, but number 7 is Otaru Motoboshi from Yurusen Yatsura. Yes, the guy's a pervert. Yes, he's a lecturer. Yes, he treats Lum like shit, and that pisses me off. But there's more to this character than meets the eye. Yes, most of the time the guy can be a huge dick, hitting on girls in front of his girlfriend or trying to see up girls' skirts, but deep down, and this is shown prevalently in the anime, he cares deeply about Lum. And this is shown when, you know, Lum is getting hit on by other guys, or when Lum disappears. It shows him very distraught, not knowing what to do and hoping that she doesn't leave him. And he really cares passionately for Lum. It's just that the way that he shows affection is much different from the way that we all show affection. He shows affection in his own subtle way, and in that, I really like the character. There's more to him. And number 6 might also be another controversial choice, but my number 6 is Afro Samurai from Afro Samurai. Now, all of you might be inclined to say, or even type right now, wait a minute, Tony, this guy is such an asshole. He killed his best friend, he betrayed his best friend, and all that stuff. He's a terrible character. Well, you would be sorely mistaken, because this character is such a deep layered and well developed character. You see, what separated him from the characters in my top 10 list, such as Light, Griffith and Sasuke is that his goal was not power or world domination. His goal was solely revenge. He wanted revenge for the death of his father. He didn't want to become the #1 headband warrior. He didn't even want to become the #2, but the only way that he could reach #1 is to achieve the #2 headband. And in doing so, he had to do a lot of terrible things. And like I mentioned earlier, we get a really well fleshed out and well developed character. For the 5-episode anime that we got a really good development of the psyche of Afro Samurai and the internal struggle that this character went through. And there were some times in the anime that he really considered stopping his revenge scheme and living a normal life. But the drive of hatred flowed intensely in his veins that it caused him to do heinous acts, including betraying his very own friend. And another thing that separated him from the top 10 worst is he actually did feel remorse for betraying his friends. He actually showed some remorse in episode 4. Go watch it again, you'll see him. He's a bit hesitant to fight his best friend. And not only that, the guy's a badass. I mean, straight up, that's another big reason why he's on this list. But yeah, a well-developed badass character, that is my number 6. Number 5 is Renji Aso from F, A Tale of Memories. This guy is a freaking saint. Like I mentioned in my review, this guy goes out of his way to assist the girl that he loves. He does so much for this girl that he cares deeply about. His unconditional love for this girl just was one to envy, and I just really loved and related to his character. He truly is a saint, and that's why I put him on this list. Number 4 is Keiichi Morisato from Oh My Goddess. Probably the character I relate to the most in this entire list. I mean, he's caring, thoughtful, and a hopeless romantic. I relate to him off the bat. Not only that, but his blooming romance with Belle Dandy is probably one of the sweetest romance I've ever seen in an anime. And I just really related and loved this character. He's such a sweet guy. And he just makes you want to become a better guy for that. Number 3 is Lelouch V Britannia from Code Geass. Yes, of course he would be on this list for the mere fact that deep down inside, after all the things that he's done, he is truly a caring individual. A lot of people like to compare him to Light Yagami in the way that he presents himself, you know. He's a really intelligent, really skinny but shonen type character. And at first, you know, he kind of did come off as a Light Yagami character. I mean, he was kind of mean, he used people as pawns, but the thing that separated him from Light Yagami is that he actually had something that drove him besides his own selfish ambition. He cared deeply about his sister. He cared deeply about his mom. And he was just looking for a way to create a better world for his sister to live in. And not only that, get revenge on the person that killed his mom. And in that, I really liked his character. If a character is willing to sacrifice his very own life to create peace in the world, that is the most selfless person I've ever seen in an anime, and is truly worth praising. And that is why Lelouch V Britannia is number 3. First time, Kimi no Mikatoki, Kuhako mo Nusunachi Kame. And if you know what that song is, then you probably know who my number 2 is, and that is Kenji Harima from School Rumble. I absolutely love this character. I mean, this guy is a badass with a heart. What more can I say about him that's not already awesome? I mean, he's caring, he's dedicated, he's thoughtful, he's ambitious. I mean, the guy is just an awesome character. And he broke the archetype for all these other anime characters, because before him, it was just like, oh, it's the quiet, shy kind of guy, or just the normal guy who comes to school. But no, he's the delinquent that fell in love with the gentle girl. And I love that whole Beauty and the Beast kind of thing going on. And I really felt like that bucked the trend and kind of gave a bigger outlook on anime characters instead of just like, oh, the delinquent guy does this delinquent stuff. He actually had more depth in that, and I really enjoyed his character. He's so much fun. He probably has some of the most funniest scenes in the entire anime, and Brandon Potter does a spot-on representation for the voice of Harima. It is excellent. And Funimation, I thank you, I salute you. Harima Kenji, you are badass. And lastly, his love for Tenma is truly heartwarming. Just another aspect that makes him a really relatable character, because he's going through what we all have gone through one time or another, unrequited love. And I really love how the delinquent did not end up with the main girl character. Just another way that this anime is really non-conforming and trying its own thing. It's really bucking the trend here. And That's what I really loved about this anime. It's so fresh, so original, and I just love the character Harima so much. I just love School Rumble so much. And lastly, number one, you probably all have guessed it, and that is Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. He is probably the greatest and most well-fleshed out shonen character ever created. And I mean ever. I mean, in the beginning of the anime, he started off as this irresponsible, arrogant, immature, roughneck kid who cared nothing about others, and he didn't even care about himself. And you just see him grow into this really responsible, really mature, really caring individual who is willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good. And I really liked how they fleshed out this character of Yusuke Urameshi. Not only that, but this kid's a badass who can shoot out witty retorts when fighting an enemy. Like, there will be scenes where he's like fighting this guy and he says something to him and he will just shoot out this snarky remark, and it just brings a delightful smile to my face, like seeing this guy just stand up to this villain. And this guy is so loyal to his friends to a T. I can actually see him sacrificing his life if the situation called for it, and you cannot buy that kind of loyalty, and loyalty like that is so rare to come by. And lastly, the voice work for Yusuke is fantastic. Justin Cook really embodies the voice of Yusuke, down to the mannerisms and the emotions. He is just badass, and Justin Cook, I wish you were in more animes, but I will forever remember you as the badass Yusuke Urameshi, because Yusuke Urameshi is without a doubt the best male anime character I have ever seen in an anime. And thus concludes my top 10 best and worst female and male anime characters list. And let me know in the comments, who are your top 10 best male characters? Who did you think are the most badass anime characters? Comment below, let me know. And also, this concludes my long-going series of top 10 lists. Now I can finally take a break. You'll probably see a new top 10 list coming real soon. I don't know when, but now I can finally get to doing reviews again, thank God. And until then, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And I'm Tony Watley from the Black Critic Guide. Till then, peace, YouTube.